This looks tiny, but trust me, it has more power than your Arduino Uno. Meet Pico. Now, it's not a typical Raspberry Pi, but this little board can do a lot more than you might think. In this video, we'll go over what the Pico is, how it's different from the other Pis, and why it's one of the best microcontrollers you can get for under $5. But what is a Pico? Well, it's quite simple. The Pico is a microcontroller board. That means it doesn't run a full operating system like Pi 4 or 5, but instead it's meant to run your code directly on the chip. So it makes it perfect for objects and sensors or robotics and IoT devices. It's powered by the RP240 chip. That's Raspberry Pi's own silicon baby with dual-core ARM Cortex-M0 Plus, 133 MHz clock speed, 264 kilobytes of RAM, and 2 whole megabytes of flash storage. Now, don't let the size fool you. This little board is pin credible. That means you get 26 GPIO pins all over the board, and with support with SPI, I2C, UART, PMW, and ADC. Basically, if it sends a signal, the Pico can probably talk to it. For those of you who think that they are better than the rest of us, you should probably get the Pico W with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. But the specs and all are great, but how do I program this little powerhouse? The most popular option is Python. I personally like using CircuitPython, but most people use MicroPython, which isn't bad at all for beginners. But if you come from a low-level programming language, they'll probably like the C or C++ SDK made by the Raspberry Pi for this board. This will give you raw performance than the Python. Once you have plugged it in, we can start using MicroPython or CircuitPython. After you've flashed CircuitPython onto the board or any of your favorite SDKs which you want to use with the Pico, you can actually just do a test code which will be import board. And now don't mind the errors coming up here because it's using my local Python 3.13 and not the on-board Python. So it will show as error since these libraries don't exist on the local Python on my laptop. So we're gonna import digital IO, import time, and then we'll set LED equals to digital IO dot digital in and out here or here, and we'll set it to the onboard LED. That's right. And then what we'll do, we can do LED dot direction, and we can say digital IO dot direction dot output in all caps. Then we can say while true, LED dot value equals not LED dot value, and we'll set time dot sleep 0.5. And then what you can do is you can just press Ctrl S and it will save that automatically. So then what we can do is we can head over to the board itself. As you can see, the LED is blinking every 0.5. So that means we have successfully put our first Python program on the Pi Pico. And it's really simple, as you can see. So what can you do with a Pico except blink lights and show it off? Well, literally anything. People have literally built everything from mini weather stations to full-blown tiny handheld consoles. And that means if you can ream it, you can Pico it and all with that without frying your wallet, since this board comes in about $4 with off-brand versions being only $2 to $3. It's not here to replace your Pi 4 or 5. It's a different tool for a different job. But if you're into electronics, robotics, or just want to fry one of these boards, the Pico is a microcontroller you want to try out. So if you have an idea for this tiny titan, drop it in the comments below and see you until next time.